go live. Did you hear it?
Morning.
Hey there, Central Middle School. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Central Middle School Podcast, where we dive into all things learning, creativity, and inspiration. I'm your host, Kimani, and today we have some incredible guests who are here to talk about something that impacts every one of us, math. Joining us today, we have Scott Stenger, right? Chief of Staff at Lightedge Solutions. In this episode, we will get an understanding of what Lightedge Solutions does. Talk technology in the future, cloud technology, cybersecurity, and light edge solutions, local impact. So let's jump right into the conversation.
Introduced to Light Edge. Can you tell us what Light Edge is and what kind of work you do? It sounds like it involves a lot of technology. What does that look like day to day?
Yep, I sure can. And it does involve a lot of technology. You guys are right. So Lightedge is a data center and hybrid cloud company. All that means is that we've got data centers all over the United States. And inside of those data centers, we have servers and storage that we provide to businesses who run their applications and store their data on them. And we also are capable of providing public cloud like Microsoft's Azure and Amazon's Amazon Web Services. So that's what we do. And yes, it involves a lot of technology.
What is the coolest thing about working at Light Edge? Is it like working with computers all the time?
Yeah, it is like working with computers all the time. That is a lot of what we do. The coolest part, really, I would say two things. One, here in Kansas City, our data centers are actually underground. Do y'all know where Worlds of Fun is? Off 435. So our data center is actually 200 feet under that. That's where our data center in Kansas City is. So that's pretty cool because we get to go down underground like that and see some cool stuff down there. But one of the other cool things that we get to do is just work with all kinds of different businesses and figuring out what they're doing with technology. It's cool to see how all kinds of different businesses are using technology to do what they need to do every day.
Technology in the future. Light Edge is all about technology, right? How do you think technology will change over the next 10 years? Would things like robots or flying cars be real?
So that's a great question. I don't know about flying cars. I sure hope not, but there will for sure be robots. I think there already are robots, and they're gonna start doing some crazy stuff. Hopefully, helping pick up around the house, so we don't have to do that stuff anymore, right? But I think the biggest change, and you're already starting to see a little bit, is how crazy AI is going to be. Have if you guys have messed around with ChatGPT or anything like that before, I think that thing, artificial intelligence, and really it's more large language models and how we access information. But I think that's going to be the craziest change over the next 10 years is what that AI stuff does for all of us, including how we just use it in normal day to day.
Okay. Do you think kids today are learning enough about technology to get jobs like the ones at Light Edge when they grow up?
Yeah, I mean, I think they do, right? I have a middle schooler, high schooler, and I'll tell you that they know a lot more about technology than a lot of grown-ups that I know, right? I can tell you the number of things that I've learned from my kids on how to use technology. What I'll say though is that I think kids could learn more about problem solving and more about data. When you think about how learning about technology works, technology is going to change, and the tech we use today is going to be different than the tech that's used 5, 10, 15 years from now. But what kids could learn today that will always help them in the tech field is how data works and how solving problems with technology. Those are the things that kids should be learning more about if they want to, have long, successful careers in the tech field.
Okay. Cloud technology. I have heard the word cloud used a lot when people talk about technology. Can you explain what the cloud is in a way that even someone in middle school could understand?
Yeah. So it's a confusing term. It's really just a computer somewhere else. That's basically it. So do you guys use when you use do you guys use like Google Drive, or do you use like something where you have like a Word document that you can share with your classroom? So that's the cloud. It's just that instead of it being on your computer right here, it's just on someone else's computer somewhere else. So for us, some of our customers that are here in Kansas City, like, even the school system here, they just have those computers in that underground data center under Worlds of Fun, like I was talking about. So the cloud is really just someone else's computer that you're using that doesn't have to be the one right in front of you. So that's the most kind of simple explanation of it. And you guys are using the cloud all day, every day. When you watch videos on YouTube, you're using the cloud. When you're using your school applications or putting documents up in in Google Drive or whatever you all use, that's the cloud. So it's just a computer somewhere else.
How does Lightedge help companies store their information in the cloud? Is it like a big online locker for data?
Yeah. Yep, it is. So we help companies who don't want to have to run their own computers. And what does that mean? They don't want to buy them. They don't want to put them in a data center. They don't want to fix them when they're not working right. So what we do to help companies with the cloud is really we do the stuff with the computer so that they don't have to. That way they can focus on what their business is, right? So like at the school system, if you can have as many people thinking about how to educate and grow children, and that's better than having a bunch of people focused on working on computers. And so it is kind of like a big locker for data. That's definitely a part of it. Those businesses that are our customers, like here in Kansas City, they store their data on our computers, and we keep it safe for them. Yep.
Okay. Cybersecurity. What does cybersecurity mean, and why is it so important? Is it like locking your computer to keep bad guys out?
Yep. It's like that. You bet. Cybersecurity means a lot of things today, and that's mostly because the bad guys have a lot of different ways to get into your stuff. Cybersecurity is really all of the things that you have to do to keep your data safe. That might be like managing your password. It might be like detecting if someone has gotten into your stuff. It's like keeping clean copies of your data in case somebody gets to it. But cybersecurity is a lot of things. But think about it like this. It's a lot of things because the bad guys have a lot of ways to get to your stuff. And it's always a race to stay one step ahead of the bad guys so that they don't get into your stuff. And all of that practice, that's called cybersecurity.
How does Lightedge protect companies from hackers? Are there super secret technology tools that help do this?
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of super secret technology that helps with this, which is why it's hard. Cybersecurity is very difficult. But what Lightedge does is we use a lot of tools, and we use a lot of people, and we use a lot of processes to keep things to keep the bad guys or the hackers out. That means making sure everybody has strong passwords that get changed regularly, making sure that the people on our team know that when they get a bogus email from somebody, don't click the link. Educate people about how the bad guys get in. We put a lot of layers of control and security in between the end users and the data. And so there's a lot of things that go into that, into that idea of keeping data safe. Think about it like we do a lot of individual things, and you layer them on top of each other. And by the time you're done, hopefully you've stacked up enough obstacles where the bad guys can't get in. And that's kind of how it works. And that's why it's hard to stay one step ahead of the bad guys, but you're never probably more than just one step ahead of them.
Local impact Kansas City. Since Lightedge is in Kansas City, how does your company help the local community? Do you do any fun events or projects with schools or other local businesses?
Yeah, we do. So we do business with a lot of the healthcare organizations in Kansas City, the hospitals and the healthcare systems. And we do a lot of charities and events with them where we donate, money and time to be at those events. I don't know. Do you guys know what the local food bank Harvesters? Have you heard of Harvesters before? So they were a longtime customer of ours. We also would get down there pretty regularly to help in the food bank for sorting, food. So there's a lot of things that we do to give our time back in the community. There's a lot of things that we do to, contribute to charity via donations, especially with a lot of our customers who have charitable causes. So we do a lot of that stuff, and some of it is really really fun events that we get to be a part of too.
What is something that people in Kansas City might not know about Lightedge but should?
Yep, it's kind of what I was telling you guys earlier, that our data center, right, that building that normally has a bunch of computers in it, that when you go to watch your YouTube video and it's playing the video from one of those computers, that data center for us, there's one that's underground under Worlds of Fun. There's another one that's underground too. So Lightedge only has, we're one of very few underground data centers in the whole world, but in Kansas City specifically, we've got two that are underground in mines and caves. And that's kind of our fun fact in Kansas City.
Good morning, Warhawks. Get ready for an action-packed day, lots of fun and cheers. For our sports shout-outs of the day, let's hear for our cheerleaders who will kick it off at our staff and students basketball game. They will be performing during halftime. Very much important reminders. Already makeup testing concludes today. Teachers, check your email for the list of students who need to complete testing in room 202 with Ms. Dodd. For our advisory class ranking so far, the competition is heating up. Current standings, Mr. Newton advisory for first, Ms. Gilson's advisory for second, and Mr. Hammond for third advisory. Rankings maintained, so keep on pushing, Warhawks. Upcoming events for our special student basketball game. It is today, Friday. The tickets will sell during lunch. Buy them while you can. And no, students, you must complete your ready if you want to attend this game. For Holiday Spirit Week, get ready for a week of festive fun. Monday will be Holiday Ugly Sweater and Hat Day. Tuesday, Best Holiday Attire. Wednesday, Favorite Holiday Character plus Attendance Assembly. Thursday, Favorite Holiday Colors, which include red, green, blue, black, gold, and silver. And finally will be Best Flannel Outfit. For our door decorating contest, the theme will be Holidays Around the World. The deadlines are Thursday, December 19th. The judging will be during advisory, and the prizes that our advisory class will be hot chocolate. Office staff will be $25 Amazon gift card. And if you want more details, see the Walker of Miss Hilton. Get ready to spread some holiday cheer, Warhawks. This is Levi for your morning announcements. Let's make every day a grind.
Yes, let's go. All right. Do we have? Okay. Next time we're gonna mute. How you play the commission? Well, we won't be able to do it now, so we can go ahead. Next question, gentlemen. I'm happy y'all having a good time. Mr. Stenger, are you enjoying the students?
I am enjoying the students, and I wish we were here next week during Spirit Week so I could see what y'all would be rocking during Spirit Week. Hopefully, you guys ball out for that.
Careers and working in tech. What kind of jobs are there at Lightedge? Are there roles that someone who loves gaming or coding might want to explore?
Yep, there definitely are. Listen, there's every kind of job at Lightedge. If you like numbers, you can work in data. If you like numbers, you could work in our finance department. There's people who run our data centers. There's people who work on the computers, but there is coding jobs too. That's what our developers do. We have developers who make custom software for our business. And I would tell you that there's probably a lot of different folks at Lightedge who like gaming. Some of us wish we had more time for gaming these days still, but there's absolutely lots of stuff like that at Lightedge.
That's what I do. If a middle schooler wanted to start thinking more about tech to eventually work with Lightedge, where should they start? Are there fun apps or games that help with coding skills?
Yeah, there definitely are. So I don't know the names of them because, like I said, I got elementary, middle school, and high school kids, and there's lots of apps that they play on the iPad that's all about logic. If you've got an app that teaches you about logic, it's not about coding necessarily, because coding is about certain languages, right? Like I learned about this particular coding language or that particular coding language. You can figure that stuff out later. It's going to change. But the apps that teach you about logic, how this thing and that thing go together, that's the stuff that y'all should be looking at, because that's the logic that'll help you with all kinds of different jobs, not just tech jobs, but all kinds of jobs. So learn about data and learn about logic and how data and relationships and logic work. Those are the things I would focus on. And there's a lot of good ones. I don't know the name of them, but there's a lot of good ones I've seen my kids play on the iPads.
Tech myths and fun facts. What are some of the most common myths about technology that you wish people would stop believing?
One of the myths about technology, how about this, that being in tech, being an engineer or being in the tech space doesn't mean that you're an introvert, right? So that's a total myth. There's a lot of folks that are in engineering and in tech that are very social, have great people skills, and build really great careers and are very charismatic. So it's a myth. If there are folks out there dogging on people for liking tech and data and thinking that's nerdy, it's not. That's a myth.
If you could share one fun or surprising fact about tech that most people wouldn't know, what would it be?
Oh, what's surprising over the last year? And you guys, we talked about ChatGPT earlier, all these different AI things, right? What most people don't know that's surprising is it's using a ton of electricity. So those servers are using a ton of electricity to run all those crazy applications that AI stuff is doing. There are companies, like Microsoft, who, is a part investor in ChatGPT. They use more electricity for that thing than like entire countries use for all of their people. So it's an issue. We're going to have to figure that out as a community at some point, how much electricity that stuff's using. But that ChatGPT thing, it uses more electricity than certain countries are using.
Teamwork and problem solving. What's one of the biggest challenges your team faces at Lightedge, and how do you work together to solve it?
That's a good question. How about right now? I'll just tell you one of the things that's top of mind is working with data. Right now, we're challenged with having good data and clean data from all these different applications that our business uses as it's been growing. And how we solve it is we bring everybody together and we're making better decisions about what we need our data to do and what we need the business needs the data to do, and how we're going to keep it together and related so it stops taking so much time for us to understand what the data in our business is telling us.
Okay. Can you tell us a story about a time when your team had to figure out a chicken problem? How did everyone pitch in to find the answer?
Yeah, I got a good one. So we have a customer here in Kansas City, and their stuff, the stuff they ran on our servers was having a problem, and they needed more storage in order to solve it. And they needed it like yesterday, right away, and it was going to take a couple of weeks if we ordered a new one. We had one lying around in Des Moines, Iowa. Do you guys know where Des Moines, Iowa is by chance? It's like 3 hours north And we had a guy in Kansas City get in his car, drive to Des Moines, put it in his car, drive it back, and load it up in that underground data center, and do it all in one day to help that customer fix their issue. So it was a tricky problem, and there wasn't a whole lot of good ways to fix it, except a guy who really pitched in, went and drove and picked that thing up, brought it back, and then everybody at the data center helped get it installed for that customer, and it solved their problem. And they haven't had that issue since. So that was a pretty cool example of teamwork and dealing with a tricky issue.
Tech in school. How can school use technology to make learning easier and more fun? Does Lightedge work with schools or other places to help improve education?
That's a really good question. So yeah, we work with schools. We work with your school district. And Lightedge is sort of interesting. We're behind the scenes. If we're doing our job really well, you guys probably don't know that we exist, right? So what schools can do, I think schools are doing a really great job with it right now, but just to keep going is to get technology more integrated with how students are completing their work and learning about topics. The more familiarity that kids have with the technology, the easier it is for them to use it once they're done with school too. So we work with schools, but we keep those applications you guys use up and running. And like I said, if we're doing that part really well, you don't know who we are. But that's how we help schools, and schools are doing a great job helping kids learn by putting technology in their hands all day to help them learn.
If you could suggest one new piece of technology that every school should have, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. I feel like when I went to school, we didn't have hardly any technology, it felt like. So now that y'all have, applications and tablets and computers and all those sorts of things, I think the part of technology that a lot of people, you may show up and you know how to use technology, but you don't know how to use the technology to solve problems. I think the piece of technology that folks should do in schools to help kids really be more prepared after school is knowing how to use that technology to solve important problems. Okay, so it's not just about knowing how to code, but it's knowing that you're going to develop an application that solves someone's problem. I think that's a part that I don't know what that means and how that becomes a piece of technology for school, but people who understand data and problems are much more successful than folks who just know how to use a particular piece of technology.
Advice for middle schoolers. If you could give advice to middle schoolers who are interested in technology and want to work in a company like Lightedge, what would it be?
It's probably what I was just saying, is get really good at problem solving, get really good at understanding how things work, take stuff apart, put it back together. I worked at the help desk when I went to school, and I learned how to build computers, take them apart, and put them back together. If I would tell you anything, it's that no matter what role you do, no matter what job you have in technology or not, understanding how stuff works is a really valuable skill. So get your hands dirty and start taking things apart, put them back together, understand how things work. Do that with logic, do that with applications too. Problem solving is it's a skill that's never going to go out of style. So learn more about solving problems and how stuff works.
What skills do you think are the most important to have if you want to work in the tech industry? And how can kids start practicing those skills now?
Yeah, I think it's a lot. I probably have said it, a few times throughout the conversation we're having today, but it's really that problem solving. So what you could do now is you could start thinking about not just learning coding, right? But think about your assignment as how could you build something that helps someone in your school today? Go find something that the school is having an issue with today and see if you can build an application or build a process that helps that problem go away or helps solves a part of that problem. But don't just work on the skills. Don't just work inside the technology because that'll change. Get really good at learning new technology so that you always have that ability to future-proof yourself, and start thinking about the problems you solve with technology over the technology itself. That is what will always keep you in high demand in tech companies.
Okay. That's the last of my question.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for having me. This was super fun to get to talk to y'all. Good luck with Spirit Week, and I love Red Friday. Go Chiefs.
Thanks.
We're undefeated. We're undefeated.
No, not yet.
We only got one loss.
There
But
you
we're really undefeated for real.
Okay, all right. We're close to being undefeated.
We're really undefeated for real.
Real
We
close.
need to lose. We're supposed to lose to the Bills anyways. Every time we lose to the Bills in the regular season, we win the Super Bowl anyways. So we're going back. We're running it back. 3-peat.
Ain't this gonna be like our fifth win in the Super Bowl?
It will be our
fifth.
4.
It's gonna be
Oh,
four.
good.
It's gonna be like the
Because
fourth.
we started back winning.
4 for Mahomes, and it'll be the 5th for the Chiefs because they won. They won a really early Super Bowl.
Right. That's gonna be awesome. So we hopefully we'll see you at the parade.
That's right. We'll see you out there. Thanks for having me on. This was cool.
Thank
Good
you
luck, y'all.
for joining us.
Okay.
Yep, of course. Good luck, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.